So Jurassic World Rebirth is the story following the events of Jurassic World Dominion. This is the 7th film in the Jurassic Park franchise. This is 5 years after the events of the previous film. That all sounds complicated, but you don't really need to know it because this is a return to form for the franchise. Zora Bennet is a mercenary played by Scarlett Johansson who's looking to get out of the game. All right, she's all about going in and getting stuff and extracting it. She gets hired by, what is his name? Martin Krebs, who is a CEO of a pharmacy company or marketing guy at a pharmacy company, I don't know, who's developing a new cure for heart disease. And in order to finalize this thing and get it out to the world and save millions of lives, they just need the DNA from a few select dinos. And dinos used to be everywhere, but it's been a few years since the last movie. They've started dying out due to climate conditions, they say in the movie, and they only really exist now around a band around the equator of the Earth. So at this unique island way out in the middle of the ocean, Zora Bennet and her crew, with our guy Martin in tow, along with Duncan Kincaid, a great mercenary played by Mahershala Ali, Dr. Henry Loomis, played by Jonathan Bailey, of course, coming over from Wicked, and a few other friends head over to this island to hopefully get in and extract the DNA from 3 distinct large dinosaurs, one of air, land, and sea. They've got these cool hypodermic dart needle things they shoot at them, and they shoot out this little parachute, and they grab it, and they got to get their stuff and get off the island. On the way, they meet a family, the Delgado family, who's kind of dysfunctional, who's out there fishing when things go wrong. They all have to get to the island and then hopefully get out by the end of the movie. It's Jurassic World Rebirth. And in a lot of ways, directed by Gareth Edwards, Jurassic World Rebirth is a send-up of everything that's great about old Spielberg films, right? Gareth Edwards shot this on Kodak film and put the CGI together just like he did with Creator, I think like he did with Rogue One. There's a lot of great send-ups not only to Jurassic Park, but also Jaws. There's a Raiders reference in this, in a specific scene. Like, it feels a lot like Evans trying to take on Spielberg in the biggest way. But it's a little slow in the turns. And if you've talked to people or seen Rotten Tomatoes reviews, you know that critics are pretty mid on this one. They say it either works for you or it doesn't. For the kids, it's a hit. For the parents, I'm not so sure. Andy, what do you think of Jurassic World Rebirth?
So I think you summed it up really well, where it's a little bit in the middle. It works. Some things work, some things don't. I think overall, it's important for people to remember this is kind of a kids franchise. It's for general audiences. This came out over 4th of July weekend. It's not for 40-year-olds who have seen all of these movies and who saw, like I saw the original in the theater back in 93, one of my favorite cinematic or theater going experiences. So this is going to work for younger audiences for sure, that all of this is new for. A lot of the thrills, like they don't know all the throwbacks, all the kind of familiar beats that we've seen before. So it's definitely going to work for part of the audience. I think the first half is the strongest. When we get our team together, we get on a boat, and the first thing that they explain this very, very well. They need 3 dinosaur samples. They need one from the Mosasaurus, which is a giant whale-like dinosaur. They need another kind of brontosaurus one, and then the pterodactyl. So we see this in these cool giant skeletons, so we have a sense of scale and what we're going after. It lays it out very well for the audience. Surprisingly, we don't actually need one from the T-Rex. Normally that's what we would do in one of these movies. But the first half, where they're sailing to the island and they're trying to get the sample from the first thing, I think that works really well. It actually kind of slows down once we get to the island, and there's a whole lot of wandering around in the jungle. There's also a little bit too many people in this. There is our main crew with ScarJo, Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey, and then there's this separate family who's sailing in the area, and they get rescued by ScarJo and company, and it's a family of 4, so it's a lot of people. So eventually you have this small band of people together, and it's a little bit too much, but that's how you get the kids in there. You got to have kids on screen. That's part of how they rope in the family aspect of this. So that part is a little rough.
Yeah, and it's a bummer because that's like half the movie, and Universal did a great job of hiding that in the advertising. You don't see hardly any of that family. It's the Delgado family, led by Father Manuel Garcia Rulfo, who did the Lincoln Lawyer series over on Netflix. He's really good. In fact, I like pretty much everybody in this movie, I should say. ScarJo is good, although her character's a little flat, and I was reading that she got like an insane paycheck to do this, and reportedly always wanted to be in the Jurassic World franchise, but also IMDb says she was like their third pick after Amanda Seyfried and I forget who the other one was, Jennifer Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence,
Lawrence, yeah.
Jonathan Bailey's fun as Dr. Loomis. His accent slips every now and again, but otherwise like solid. Is kind of our nerd, bit of like our Milo Thatch character from Atlantis, right? Like civilian, doesn't know anything about combat, doesn't want to fight, like he's just there to check out the dinos and kind of do his thing. Rupert Friend is delightful as our conniving, like mustache twirling CEO who doesn't have a mustache, right? Like he's there for the money. We're getting our stuff and getting out of here. Hey, the cops don't really know we're out here, so you can't call 911, right? Like, and Duncan Kincaid, played by Mahershala Ali, is a lot of fun, and is super good, and I think not better than the movie deserves, but like a fan favorite. People will like him a whole lot, what he's doing in here. Everybody's a lot of fun, but I think where the movie gets complicated is A, it's split plot. You're just kind of jumping back and forth between a group of mercenaries and our family. And B, like, there's some real problems in scene geography in some of these. Characters will leap around the scene. You'll have a ton of ADR covering up, like, dialogue that's filling in what should have been happening. And typically, like, a lot of ADR is an indication of, like, a lot of studio notes that maybe the studio told Gareth Evans, hey, you got to change this or fix this. And looking at the trivia, it seems like Evans says that's not the case, that this is pretty much the movie he wanted to make, short of a very large change regarding one character in particular that the studio essentially demanded be shifted later. I don't want to spoil anything. But, like, there's something going on here in the middle. From 35,000 feet, this looks like a Jurassic Park movie. But, like, as soon as you really start to dig in, you realize, like, color grading is jumping between scenes. Characters are all over the place. Like, it's just odd. It's odd. And most importantly, well, hold on. I've been talking too much. And you please take it a second. Let me hand this off.
Well, I wanted to talk about our cast a little bit more. I didn't know that Jennifer Lawrence was in the run. I think she actually would have been really good at this. Because there are too many characters, we don't actually get enough screen time with everyone. I feel like ScarJo is... Our main leads they're just not on screen very much. ScarJo is fine. I feel like her character's written... and I don't know if it's a chicken and egg situation, but she's basically Black Widow. She kind of has that Marvel quippy dialogue, and I was like, I don't know if they're writing her that way or if that's how she displays it now, but she's kind of the same character, which isn't bad. The thing is, it doesn't work because she's supposed to be like this hardened mercenary. She's like, oh, we were, running some operation in Yemen and kind of this military, and she's like cracking jokes the whole time, and it just like, I'm not convinced that she's like a rough and tumble, military person the way someone like Muldoon, the character in the first Jurassic Park, is the game warden, who's definitely that hardened, no nonsense thing. So I feel like we needed a little bit more of that from her, because like she's Marvel quipping through most of this, and it's kind of odd. Mahershala Ali is great. Again, just doesn't get enough screen time. He's always charming. We need more of him in subsequent films. I think Jonathan Bailey is also the strongest of our three main leads. He's really good as the kind of moral high ground. He's the scientist. He values the research and the animals and doesn't want people or animals exploited. He's got a lot of good stuff. He's very convincing in this. Probably highlight of that. Everyone else is really forgettable and also very kind of cliche, is like, this is the bad guy. This guy was definitely not going to survive this trip. Here are some no-name crew members who are definitely not going to survive this trip. Like, there's so many people. At one point, there's like 12 people on the boat as they're heading into the island, which I think is a good point to start talking about plot.
Yeah, like you nailed it with the Duncan Kincaid thing, right? Like all those memorable moments from like the Spielberg films, right? Like not just like the Velociraptor Hunter, but like the Clever Girl and Hold On to Your Butts and Alan Grant, like seeing the dinos for the first time, feeling the sense of like awe and wonder. Like none of that is here. Like it is a fill in the blank, paint by numbers Jurassic World movie, and like it definitely checks the boxes if that's what you're looking for. But like you're not going to come out quoting any memes from this movie. You're not going to be like, oh, there's this one thing, or this person said that one thing that was so great. And that sense of awe and wonder that you get when you hear that John Williams score and you see these like giant creatures, right? All these characters have seen them before. They've been in zoos and exhibits and museums because in the world of Jurassic World, these things have just been wandering around the earth, right? They're not so popular anymore, but even still, like your sense of awe and wonder is a little deflated. Your dinosaurs are fine, but outside of that, I think the plot is fine. Like it works okay. The island they're on definitely leaves some questions to be desired. I'm thinking will probably get addressed in a sequel, and there is a sequel coming for sure. They talked about doing 3 of these films, and based on its opening weekend, I think it's what $300 million or something coming out of the gate. So like, there's going to be another one of these for sure. And Universal's got a hit on their hands, but it seems like critics just are not going for it in the way that general audiences are, as often happens. And I think that's okay, but I think it's just because if you have watched a lot of movies and you're just kind of keeping an eye out for key things, you realize they're just not here. It's like broad strokes Jurassic World movie. Like it checks all the boxes, but it doesn't leave you satisfied.
Yeah. So David Koepp wrote or co-wrote the original Jurassic Park film way back in '93, and he's playing the Jurassic Park hits. There are, we kind of have the scary opening scene like in the first one. We have it's literally copied scene for scene. And again, as someone who saw the original, that annoys me a little bit because I've already been there. But again, this movie's for 10-year-olds to 12-year-olds.
Yeah, it is.
Like for them, it's going to be new. And it's going to be like thrilling, and like in my theater, everyone was cracking up at all the jokes the jokes aren't very good, but everyone was laughing. There's some very mild horror, and there were people like gasping, like, "Oh my god!" like that. And so like it's working for general audiences, which is what it's intended to do. But it is a little disappointing that he's playing the hits. He's the things that you saw in the first movie, you're seeing here again 32 years later.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it is they work so well, but also it's also not in the fact that, it's not memorable. Our characters don't get enough screen time, and they're not developed as well as that. They have weird backstories that they get into for like 5 minutes and then never heard from again. Like ScarJo lost a friend on her latest mission in Yemen. Mahershala Ali has some background stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it almost feels like one of the studio note scenes. Like they ran it by test audiences and were like, it needs a little something. Put something up here. Raise the stakes a little bit. Make it exciting. Like I do like it fine. And yeah, I'm with you. Like if you're a kid, this is Jurassic Park through and through. You're gonna have a great time. But I wish they'd picked a lane, like one or the other. Either stick with the mercenaries or stick with the family, or keep them all together. Like splitting them up, I think hurts the movie. And while I think Gareth Edwards is so good at shooting things at scale, like this is the thing he's great at, right? Rogue One, the creator, he is so good at putting giant things next to small people, almost like Denis Villeneuve in Dune, right? And Blade Runner. Like these are things these guys are really good at. Like somewhere in the script or the studio notes or the edit, something like things get messy in Jurassic World in a way that hurts the movie. And it's a shame. Like, I don't think it needs to be that way. I think Evans is doing Spielberg, man. I really do. Like that opening with the family on the boat, that is almost very similar to Jaws. Like it's right there. And like, when you meet Duncan Kincaid at this like bar out in the middle of nowhere and they're like pulling a bit, I'm like, it's a little bit Raiders, like a little bit when Indy goes to see Marion for the first time. Like I see those elements, and Evans has talked about this in interviews, like how excited he was to do this movie. But it just doesn't end up getting over the top of the bar, and it's a bummer, and that disappoints me.
I swear that Rupert Friend is like the pharmaceutical rep, and I swear he's dressed like Belloc from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes, dude. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's not just Jurassic Park. Like, I totally see that. Score's fine. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I wanted to talk about our action scenes because that's what part of why these movies work is there's big dinosaur action and just action in general. There's a lot of boat stuff in the first half. Literally the first hour of the movie, like it takes them a while to get to the island. First half is stuff on boat. I think that is the stuff that worked the best for me because we haven't seen things like that in a Jurassic Park movie. So lots of stuff on the boat. That means they had to film in like one of those giant water tank places. The effects are pretty good there. I felt like that was one of the more thrilling things. things kind of slow down when they get to the island, but there are some really good sequences with like a T-Rex, with a pterodactyl. So I think the action sequences are pretty well thought out, and that stuff's going to be thrilling for the kids.
Yeah, and I like people begging for their lives, which they don't do in a lot of Jurassic World movies anymore. Like, this movie opens with a guy, like, begging for somebody to help him. Please, please open the door. I'm sorry. It's so great. Scare the kids. You know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff I think that works good in here for sure. Yeah. But it does end up looking a lot shaped like the OG Jurassic Park. And that's okay, I think. Like, works for parents, works for kids. But if you're looking for anything critical, I think Jurassic World is, I don't know, maybe not it. Any other thoughts or recommendations, Andy?
I think I'm ready.
Andy, would you recommend Jurassic World Rebirth?
I'd recommend it for general audiences. If you need something to take the kids during summer or when you have time off, it's definitely going to be safe and fun for them. Might be a little bit scary for a lot younger audiences. If you're a more serious cinephile and want a little bit more plot and character out of your movies, you might skip and just save it for streaming. It's not too long. It's just a hair over 2 hours, so it is kind of quick for these big blockbuster movies. But probably, like I said, save it for streaming if you're serious about it, but great for take the kids.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't know if this movie wins July. I'm not even sure if it makes the top 3 in July. Like, F1's coming out strong. Superman's got great reviews. Fantastic Four's coming out. If it's, kids' first Jurassic Park movie, or if they've just seen a couple of those Jurassic World movies, you'll love it. But if you're an adult and you've seen all of the Jurassic Park movies, all 6 of them, you've kind of seen this movie already. And that's not bad. It's summer at the movies. Get the big popcorn. You know what I mean? Get the Diet Coke. Enjoy yourself. But go in with the right expectations. I think a 54 on Rotten might not be the right way to set up what this movie's doing, but it certainly divides people. And I don't know. Universal's got a hit on their hands either way. So, yeah, that's Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah, that's it. All right, we got it. Oh, also subscribe to Off Script Film Review while I'm thinking of it. Like and comment, do the things. That helps us a lot. Yeah, that's that.